Welcome to Arabesque. Iranian-born British Azerbaijani singer and songwriter Sami Yusuf is here tonight. He's going to perform at Cadogan Hall with his new album release, and we had the opportunity to have a nice chat with him about music and life.
I fight for a love, knowing it can't be one sent from a light above, child of our golden sun, Sariyali. I reach for hands, knowing they can't be held, cursed by words I can't tell, broken under your spell, Sariyali.
I'm British by nationality and Azeri Persian ethnically in terms of my roots. I'm very at peace with that. I'm so blessed, really. I feel very honored that I was born in Tehran because it opened the door to the Persian world. And I'm very proud of my Azeri roots because it opened the door to the Turkic world, Turkey, and also the Ottoman world, from the Ottoman time. And then, of course, growing up here, we've got the Western world, the classical music, and it's wonderful. I was at a crossroad in my life between having to choose between music and law, and I chose music because I wanted to basically do a one-off album, sharing my spiritual kind of moments. That was 11 years ago, and that one-off album turned into, we're here today, launching our album in Cadogan Hall in London.
Grateful today for difference and change, for all colors and shades.
My father, he's a multi-instrumentalist, he's a composer, a musician, poet, a very, very talented man. So being his son and having the privilege of having all these maestro musicians coming to your house, that does something to you. It does something to you. It's not just about going to school and studying music, you have to live it. And I didn't choose music, music chose me. I didn't choose to play an instrument, it just naturally came. When I was 6, my father taught me the tombak, then the daf, and it was all based on technique and books and etudes. I did go through the training, and I still am. I'm still a humble student of music. One does not complete one's education in one lifetime. So I went through that training, and my father was instrumental in teaching me instruments. I have a deep love for tradition. I'm not a very modern person. Modernity, being modern is not wearing modern clothes. That's not what modernity is. Modernity is a worldview, it's a way of looking at life. And I think there's a lot to learn from our past. There's a lot to learn from our traditions. There's a lot to learn from our forefathers. There's a lot to learn from just simple customs, just simple, to the most basic things, to the most intellectual and deep aspects and things. So I think if there's one thing that I'd love for people to appreciate through my humble works, that would be an appreciation for tradition and universality. So when you know these languages, you become familiar with other languages, naturally. So when you know Persian, you know a bit of Urdu. When you know Arabic, I could listen, when I listen to Hebrew, I understand it. Shalom Aleichem, which is Salamu Alaikum, basically. It's the same kind of, so the roots are the same. The pronunciations are different, but so many common, commonalities. Arabic is a very beautiful language, and I personally, other than English, English of course, the main one, but other than English, Arabic is for me, I think my voice sounds better in Arabic. And I also love Persian, and then Turkish, and then Urdu, and then Malay. I've sung in Malay as well. Spiritique is the genre of my music and essentially represents Sophia Perennisis, which is of divine wisdom, of everlasting wisdom. wisdom that is eternal, which all the great traditions ultimately subscribe to and follow at the most rudimentary, kind of fundamental levels. And the Spirit of Sikh highlights that and celebrates it. And ultimately, it's about bringing people together. We have an album out called The Center. It's my 5th studio album. I'm very excited about it because essentially the album encapsulates a lot of the ideas that I'm living with at the moment. Substance-wise, I think it's the strongest material that I've done, and the response has been amazing, overwhelming. I have a similar kind of thing we're doing in the States, in Washington, D.C., and we look forward to that. It's exciting.
Back to the light above, what can I do, my love? Child of our golden sun, child of our golden sun,
Thank you so much for joining us here with Sami Yusuf. I'll see you next week. Until then,
Take good care.